Number 1. Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea bought Lukaku from Everton for £28 million in 2014. At that time, he was a powerful young striker with potential, but not yet a proven elite-level player. They sold him to Inter Milan in 2019 for £97.5 million. Profit, £69.5 million. That is a 248% return on their original investment. Chelsea bought Lukaku when his value was still growing and sold him to Inter Milan at exactly the right moment, when his price was at its peak, and the Italian club were willing to pay a premium for his physical style of play. The financial lesson here is about market timing. Chelsea identified a buyer who valued Lukaku more than the general market did. Inter Milan needed a striker of his profile desperately. That desperation drove the price up, and Chelsea walked away with nearly £70 million in profit. In business, this is called finding the right buyer, not just any buyer. Number 2, Eden Hazard. Chelsea bought Hazard from Lille for £32 million in 2012. He was already a talented player, but not yet at the superstar level that would command a world-class prize. Over 7 years at Stamford Bridge, he became one of the best players in the world. 2 Premier League titles, 2 Europa League trophies. He was Chelsea's most important player for nearly a decade. In 2019, Real Madrid paid £88 million upfront with add-ons, taking the total to over £130 million. Profit, over £56 million on the base fee alone. But here is the real financial intelligence. Chelsea sold Hazard at 28 years old, still in his prime. They could have held on for 1 more year, but his contract was running down. Instead of letting him leave for free, they negotiated a deal worth over £130 million with Real Madrid. In financial terms, this is called protecting asset value. When an asset is approaching the end of its contract, its value drops dramatically. Chelsea acted fast and turned a potential free transfer into one of the biggest sales in their history. Number 3, David Luiz. Chelsea bought David Luiz from Benfica for £21 million in 2011. In 2014, they sold him to PSG for £50 million. Profit, £29 million. A 138% return in just 3 years. This deal is a perfect example of what financial analysts call asset flipping. Buying an asset, holding it for a short period and selling for a significantly higher price. David Luiz was a good player for Chelsea, but not an irreplaceable one. When PSG came with £50 million, Chelsea made the smart business decision. They took the profit and reinvested it. That discipline, knowing when good enough money is on the table, is one of the most underrated skills in both football and business. Number 4, Oscar. Chelsea bought Oscar from Internacional for £19.35 million in 2012. He was a creative Brazilian midfielder who became a fan favorite at Stamford Bridge. In January 2017, Chinese club Shanghai SIPG paid £52 million to sign him. Profit, £32.7 million. But the story behind this deal is even more interesting than the number. Chinese club in 2016 and 2017 were paying dramatically inflated prices for European players because of massive government investment in Chinese football. Chelsea recognized this market opportunity immediately. You see, in finance, this is called a market bubble. When a specific group of buyers is paying well above the real market value of an asset. Chelsea sold Oscar directly into that bubble and walked away with £32.7 million in profit. Timing the market is one of the most powerful wealth creation strategies in the world, and Chelsea executed it perfectly. And number 5, Juan Mata. Chelsea bought Mata from Valencia for £23 million in 2011. He was one of the most creative midfielder in the Premier League and won Player of the Year in his first 2 seasons at the club. In 2014, they sold him to Manchester United for £37 million. Profit £14 million. The smallest profit on the list, but the story behind it is important. Jose Mourinho had just returned to Chelsea and did not want Mata on his squad. Rather than letting him sit on the bench and lose value, Chelsea sold him immediately to Manchester United, who were desperate for creative midfielder options. The financial lesson here is about avoiding depreciation. An asset that is not being used loses value fast. Chelsea recognized that Mata's value under Mourinho was zero, but his value to Manchester United was very high. They sold at the right moment and turned a tactical problem into a £14 million profit. So, what is the real lesson from all of this? Chelsea are often mocked for spending money carelessly, and sometimes that criticism is fair. But behind the big spending, there is also a very smart selling operation. Lukaku, Hazard, David Luiz, Oscar, Mata, 5 players, over £200 million in profit. They protected asset value. They timed the market. They found the right buyers. They avoided depreciation. These are not football strategies. These are financial strategies applied inside the transfer market. This is the real money story behind Chelsea, not just the billions spent, the hundreds of millions made. Which of these transfers surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comment below. And if you enjoyed or learned anything in this video, like and subscribe for more football wealth and business stories. See you in the next one.